Hello all. So let us work out some numerical questions. From my side, I will make sure that every numeric question ever asked will be explained to you. From your side, what you have to do is three things. One, maintain a notebook for these numeric questions itself. A large size notebook where you have written detailed out every simple thing which has been explained to you. See, I have few notebooks which I have been still maintaining it from my UG. Also, second point, have a 80 pages notebook. Wherever I tell you that you have to memorize this, then just write it down in that separate notebook. Third point, whatever being taught, please attend the test in the website. With you doing these three things, I can assure that you will attend these questions with utter confidence in the examination. So let's start with the questions. So your next question, as per the NBC National Building Code 2005, the maximum number of occupants per unit exit width of a doorway is 60, where unit exit width is 500 millimeters. Okay. The maximum permissible occupants in a theatre having 4 number of 2.2 meter wide doors will be. Okay. So we'll understand this. So the question they have asked is, according to the NBC code, for this width of a door, these many occupants can pass through. Okay, but for a width of 2.2 meter width door, how many occupants can pass through? And there are 4 number of doors like that. Okay, so let us write it down here. So the width is per unit exit width is 500 millimeters. In 500 millimeters per unit exit width is 60 people. Okay, and they are asking in 2.2 meters how many people can go through. So what will you be doing? So first let us convert it to solution. Convert it to millimeters. So 2200 millimeters, how many people can go? So let us, shall we consider like for 100 millimeters, okay, 12 people can pass through. Then for 2200 millimeters, how many people can pass through? 12 into 22, that gives 264 people can pass through a doorway of 2.2 meter width. Okay, but the question does not end over here. One common mistake everybody does is they will forget to see what is exactly asked in the question, and they will try a big calculation. Finally, you forget that there is one more question being asked. Okay, so the question does not end over here. See, the maximum permissible occupants in a theatre having 4 number of such doorways. So this is just one doorway. So for four numbers of same, that equal to 264 into 4, which is okay. So your next question, a room measures 3 meter by 4 meter by 3 meter. Outdoor temperature is 36 degrees Celsius. The volumetric specific heat of air is 1300 joules per cubic meter degree Celsius. The ventilation heat flow rate in watts, energy, okay, required to attain an internal room temperature of 26 degrees Celsius with 3 air changes per hour is given. Such questions, by just reading the questions, will make you tired because of different values which has been asked in the question. But the question is very simple if you know only one formula. This is a question being asked usually from the thermal category. Okay, whenever there is a question from the thermal, see, this is overall related to thermal. Whenever there is a question related to this, then there is one important formula which you can substitute. So the energy required, which is the heat flow, nothing but, okay, that is equal to volume of air into specific heat into temperature difference. Okay. Okay, this is your formula which you have to memorize, but let me first write what is given. So the given is volume of room, 3 into 4 into 3. Outdoor temperature is how much? 36 degrees Celsius. Volumetric specific heat of air, that is in per cubic meter of volume, how much heat, the intensity, like, okay, volumetric specific heat, that will be in joules, that is 1300 joules per meter cube degree Celsius. Okay, these are in meters, so that it will become meter cube. Okay, next is energy required. They are asking energy required, so that will be in watts. They are asking in watts. Give attention to that. Okay, required to attain an internal room temperature. So the internal temperature is such an easy question. 26 degree Celsius. Air exchanges are 3. Okay. Now coming to your question. So we have to find the energy required. So what is the volume of air? Volume of air is volume of room into air exchanges. So that becomes equal to 9 4s are 36. So 36 meter cube into 3. Okay, that is your volume of air. Specific heat 1300 joules per meter cube degree Celsius, which is already given, into next what what have they given? Okay, they are asking temperature difference. So the temperature difference is difference from the outdoor to the indoor. So 36 and 26. So there is a 10 degree difference. Okay, 10 degree Celsius. So see over here, degree Celsius gets striked out, and meter cube gets striked out. Okay, so the final value has joules. So the final answer is 1404000. Okay, this is your final answer, but it does not end over here. They have asked you in watts. So if you have to calculate in watts, then it becomes joules divided by joules per second. So it's a joules divided by 3600. So which becomes this value divided by 3600, which gives you 390 watts. So this is your final answer. So it is very simple if you have remembered this particular formula. In a residential neighborhood, the net area of residential plots is 50% of the total area. If the population is in a residential neighborhood, okay, the residential plots is 50% of the total area. If the population is 8,000, the ratio of net density to the gross density of the neighborhood is okay. So you should first understand what is net and gross, right? I'll just tell you, if there is a total land area, this will be called as total. And these are some buildings. Okay, so the gross area of the buildings, then that becomes this area of the buildings. Now let's say this is a school building. The net area of the school buildings is this particular building's area alone compared to the total area. Gross area of the buildings means the buildings compared to the total. Okay, this is the difference between gross and net. I'm sure you know it already because you would have seen in the packets and all whichever we purchase. So what is the actual content and what is the whole packet's weight? Okay, we are getting diverted. So we'll write it down. Given there is an area in which 50% is residential. And the question is, population is 8,000. The question is ratio of net density to gross density, which is net density divided by gross density is equal to how much? That is the question. For that you should first know what is your formula for net density. Net or gross, both has the formula for which on the topper section you will always give the population. At the bottom you give the net, and at the bottom for gross you give gross area. Okay, this will be the same, but it slightly differs for different purposes. For dwelling units, you will be seeing that in further questions. Okay, for now you can understand it like this: net density is equal to the population by the net area, gross density is equal to the population by the gross area. This will absolutely differ for the different questions. Okay, so what is the population over here? We don't know that. Okay, so it is given as 8,000. We don't know the net area. We don't know the gross area. Population we know, but we don't know the net area and gross area. To find the net area and gross area, so there is the total area. As of now, the total area is considered as the gross area. When nothing specific is given, the whole area itself is considered as gross. So here the gross area is 100%. They have already said there is a total area out of which 50% is your residential area. So 50% is the net area. But what is that 50%? We don't have. So we'll assume. Let us assume. I'll write it in some other color. Assume the area to be 100 acres. Okay. So now what happens? Residential area becomes 50 acres. So what happens? Now net is 50. For gross, the same. It becomes 8,000 divided by 100. So over here, the division is between these two. So that happens to be 8,000 divided by 50 divided by 8,000 divided by 100, which gives you a value of 2. So this will be your final answer. Let us look into the last question of your video. One moment. A hemispherical earth mound of 3 meters diameter, okay, is proposed to be constructed in a children's park. So there is a children's park and there is a hemispherical mound. If the proportion of soil and sand for the construction is 3:2, estimate the estimated volume of soil in cubic meter is. Okay, first let us write what and all is given. First they are saying the hemispherical mound has a diameter 3 meters. Okay, and then they are saying proportion of soil and sand is equal to 3:2. The estimated volume, so they are asking volume of soil dash meter cube. Okay, now for the solution, first to identify the volume of soil alone, we should first understand the volume of the whole hemispherical mound. So volume of the hemispherical mound is equal to 2 pi r cube divided by 3. So substitute 22 divided by 7 into 22 divided by 7 into 1.5 to the power 3. So the answer will be 7.07 meter cube. Okay. So your answer does not stop over here. Volume of hemispherical mound is 7.03 meter cube. But we want the volume for soil alone. So they have already said the ratio of it is soil and sand ratio is equal to 3:2. So that is equal to 3 plus 2 will 5 parts. So let us find what is the volume as 1 part. So 5 parts is equal to 5 parts together is equal to 7.07 meter cube. So 1 part is equal to 1.414 meter cube. So what is the volume of soil? How many parts? So volume of soil is equal to is 3 parts. So that would be equal to 1.414 into 3. So your final answer is 4.242 meter cube. Check it with your calculation as well. Thank you.